Welcome back. I'm Sandy with Sandy's Organized Chaos, and it's a vlog day today, and I have my mom here with me today.
Hello.
So my initial thought was I was gonna have my mom on my vlog this week, and I was gonna have us do a cup together. But my mom is from Michigan, coming down here to Southwest Florida, and it's a little too hot for her in my crafting area.
Holy smokes.
I guess I don't realize, I know how hot it is, but I guess I don't realize how hot it is. When I craft, you know, I'm out here and I just do my thing. You know, I guess I just never noticed, but yeah, it's just a little much.
A little much for me. We just came back from the UP.
Yeah.
And it was in the 50s.
Yeah, she had sweaters out. She had posted photos on Facebook and they had sweaters on. I'm like, it's still cold up there?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then I come here and thankfully they turned down the air for me.
I did. Well, I mean, it's still 75, which I think is still kind of warm.
But then the children are cold, so you can't. What are you gonna do? It's all good.
Yeah, we're just.
It's all good. I'm melting now. Melting.
So instead of my mom making a cup and we're gonna doing a craft together, we decided to do a cup swap. So she brought me a cup from the UP. I'll have to show. We're gonna show you guys at the end, and then she's gonna choose a cup from here. She'll probably end up taking more than one.
Yes, I am.
So today, where we left off, what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be finishing up that paper towel holder that we talked about. So I'm going to be finishing that up today with you guys.
Too cute.
And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Super easy. Such a simple craft to do. Great for craft shows or gifts or whatever you guys want to do.
I do a lot of different craft shows and very talented people out there.
Yeah, I know you enjoy going to craft shows.
I love it. Mm-hmm. I love it.
So... all right, well, my mom has her coffee. I don't have anything. My mom has her coffee, and I guess we're going to go ahead and get this done, and when we come back, we'll do that cup swap with you guys. So my mom has her coffee, and we're ready to wake up, prep these tumblers, and slay all day. Let's do this. So if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, I went ahead and got started with this mold. I just filled very shallow, very thin portion of epoxy across the bottom there. So that way the prongs on the bottom of the paper towel holder wouldn't show through after I demolded it. So that's already cured and ready to go. But you definitely don't want to fill that up too much because you don't want the prongs on the top of the paper towel holder to poke out over the top once you go to lay it down in there. So just very shallow piece of epoxy in the bottom there. So my next step is I'm going to go ahead and divvy up. I think I did up about it was either 4 or 6 ounces of epoxy, but it ended up not being enough, but that's okay. I'll show you guys what I did here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and divvy this epoxy up for now into the 3 separate cups. Then into my first cup, I'm going to go ahead and add SOC Sparkle Dust and Dusk. So I'm probably, because I want this pretty potent, so I'm actually going to add quite a bit. I'm going to do that scoop, and I believe I do 1 more scoop. Yes. And I think that's all I added. Yes, that's all I added, but that's quite a bit of that Sparkle Dust because, like I always say, a little bit of that stuff goes a long ways. Then into the second cup, I'm going to add some of my mica powder called Cash. There we go. It's like a darker green. I'm pretty much doing it up just like that cup I did the other week. So, but a little different, obviously, because it has to lay flat rather than on a round tumbler. So then into the last cup, I'm going to add pistachio. Then after I added all that, I went ahead and stirred those up really good. And if you guys remember, I bought this pack of cups. It's for paint pouring. It has 2, 3, 4, and 5 separate divided areas to be able to put your paints into to pour. Well, I'm going to do it for epoxy. So I'm going to go ahead and pour all 3 of my different epoxy colors into each one of these divided cups. So after I divvied that out into 3 separate layers there, I'm going to go ahead and get my paper towel holder all lined up right in the center of my mold here. And luckily it already kind of had like right where the center was at for me, actually. I even measured it and everything, and that was pretty good. So I did pretty good that first placement down. Now it's time to pick this stuff up and pour it. Now I've never used one of these cups before, so it is really floppy. So just be very careful when you go to hold it because it is kind of weird to hold. So that's why I'm trying to grasp it any way that I can. So now I'm just going to go ahead and just pretty much just pour this right down. I'm just going to kind of swirl it as I go, making sure that all these colors kind of swirl together. It was a little awkward trying to pour around that center metal piece, but it's all good. You know, I was able to kind of get around there and pour it all in there. But like I told you guys earlier, this wasn't actually enough epoxy after I poured it in. There was still a lot of space left, but I didn't want to go ahead and stir up anymore. I kind of wanted it to cure, and then I wanted to try it over again, but I wanted to try it a little bit differently. So I'm going to finish pouring this down, and I'm actually going to let that cure. And then where I pick up on this next scene here, I have already went ahead and did my epoxy the same exact fashion, and I went ahead and I put it into the cups again as well. So just divvied up the colors up into the cups again, and that's where we're going to pick up, where I'm adding more epoxy over the top of what's already cured. So the first time around, when I poured my epoxies into these cups, I did the clear in the center and then the pigmented micas on each side. This time around, I added the clear with the sparkle dust on to the left side there, and then the darker mica on the one side, and then the lighter mica in the center. So I did do it up a little bit different. I just felt like maybe those two mica colors would mix a little bit better, and they sure did. I really do like the way this pour turned out better than my first pour. So here I am trying to grasp my cup, making sure I don't accidentally drop it. And instead of doing a swirl motion, I'm kind of doing more of a back and forth motion. Again, trying to make my way around that center rod and just trying to keep it a little bit more uniformed this time around. And I'm pretty much just going to top this off. I'm going to fill it all the way up to the top till it almost kind of bubbles over the top just a little bit. So that way I know, because epoxy shrinks just a little. So even after it cures, it won't shrink too much. So that's all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make sure that it is nice and filled in up to the brim, just having ever so slightly of a dome over the top. So I let it sit for a little bit, just to kind of see where those swirls were taking me. And I decided to come through with my silicone tool, and I did kind of swirl, or maybe it was my stick. It was my stick. And I came through and I just did some swirl motions here and there, just kind of adding a little bit more to it. But after I swirled it a little bit, I decided I want to add a little bit different of a color to it to kind of highlight some areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gold mixative. I'm going to place a bunch of drops into just a clean little cup here. Then I'm going to take my little silicone tool. I'm going to dab it down into that alcohol ink. And so just the little tip has a little bit of that alcohol ink on it. And I'm just going to drag it through very gently, highlighting areas of my epoxy. And I have to tell you, I absolutely love how this looked, and I kind of wish I would have done it to my tumbler, this kind of look. So here's a little bit more closer of a look to it. So you just very gently just take the tip of your silicone tool and just drag it right through your epoxy. So I'm using a regular set epoxy for this, and it had already been sitting for a little bit. It was probably right on about the 45 minute mark. So it was actually starting to set up ever so slightly, as you can tell here, but I'm not too worried about it. And it was actually just, it was nice because it made sure that my streaks didn't go out of control. So they didn't bloom out too much. As you can see here, it didn't bloom too far away from the initial line that I'd made. It just gave it real nice highlights through, just streaks like I wanted, not like big blooms like it could do if your epoxy's still not ready to cure yet. But I'm just going to go ahead and pick up the speed on what I'm doing here just a little bit, and I'm just going to let you guys watch kind of how I do the streaking. Now here I did decide to bloom it out ever so slightly with my blow dryer, just very gently came through until everything shifted just a little bit for me. And here I am just making sure I'm coming through and just kind of dragging some of these corners out just ever so slightly, just to give it more of a swirl here and there, just making it look more natural rather than blobbed. So I pretty much really liked how that looked just like that. I didn't want to fuss with it too much more. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and let that cure. All right, we are back, and I'm gonna go ahead and demold this really quick. And boy, I'm telling you, I just love these colors. It would have been really pretty on its own too, but see the bottom, you can't even see where the posts are at. Oh, I'm trying to zoom it in and out for it. There we go. But you can't even see where those prongs are at on the bottom. I just love this so much. Such a pretty, pretty color. And like I've told you guys before, I'm not a green person, but this right here, very, very pretty. So the first thing I'm going to do, because this doesn't really need any sanding, but it does have a little bit of flashing up around the rim here. So I'm just going to very gently come through and remove any little bits of flashing, trying not to cut too far down on the sides or anything, because I don't plan on putting any epoxy over there, but I am putting epoxy over the top again after I do what I want to do to it. So you just want to be very careful so that way you don't have to patch up anything with epoxy. So just very gently trim that stuff away. So I still had a bunch of my silhouettes left over from the tumbler that I had done. I had 2 Monstera leaves, which I'm going to go ahead and apply down to the surface of this. And I have some banana leaves over there as well. So I'm going to use 2 Monstera leaves, and I'm going to trim that clear center away so that way I can bring my silhouette up and through. You'll see. I'm going to bring it up and through around that center pole there. So I added the 2 Monstera leaves, 1 on each side, and then I'm going to add about 3 banana leaves on either side. So just, I didn't want to fill it in too much, and I only did 2 that overlapped over the edge to make it look like it's coming up onto the base itself. So that's pretty much all I did. Very simple. I didn't want to overcrowd it, not too much, just a few leaves here and there, just filling in, making sure that we're going to be able to see those cool swirls. There we go. After we pull these silhouettes back. And after I got those laid down, I'm going to go ahead and tape off the sides so that way I don't get paint along the rim. Anyways, you guys know what I'm saying, along the sides of our holder here. And then I went ahead and taped off the center portion there so that way spray, and you got to leave a gap. Make sure you left that little gap there so that way the spray paint can go through. But I'm going to spray paint it with this rustic pink, and then we'll come back in and peel back our silhouettes. So here it is, and it's ready to have everything peeled back. So I'm going to peel back the tape along the edge. There we go. The tape along the top there, and all our silhouettes, exposing our cool swirls underneath. Now I'm just trying to be very, very careful that I don't scratch this paint, because I don't plan on adding any type of additive or anything into my paint or into my epoxy. There we go. To give it any type of sparkle, I want this paint to stay this kind of paint flat look. I want the leaves to speak for themselves. So if you accidentally scrape your paint, then you just want to go ahead and take a Q-tip and a little bit of your spray paint and just kind of dab the areas that you accidentally sliced with your knife. Now, as I showed you guys there, I actually, there we go, didn't peel back the metal portion of my tape. That's because I knew I wanted to spray it with my clear sealer, there we go, before I added the epoxy. So it's okay if that clear sealer gets on the side, because this isn't going to be for like food consumption, like I'm not eating food off of it. So I was okay with spraying the whole thing with the clear sealer before I apply the coating of epoxy over top. Now it does not need too much epoxy to finish sealing it off. You could even add like a monogram or something before you seal it up. You could go ahead and apply that down to the surface. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's something I thought of before I started doing the clear coat, but this is pretty much my final layer. But as you've seen, I just put a bunch down over the top, and I'm just going to take my finger and very carefully drag the epoxy out to the edge, making sure it doesn't go over the edge, just to the edge. But here's a little bit better of a view of that, so that way you guys can maybe visually see a little bit better what I'm talking about, just to the edge. You don't want it draping over. I'm gonna go ahead and take my torch and pop any of those little micro bubbles. I'm gonna go ahead and let that cure, and this is good to go. All right, well, that was super easy, wasn't it? And I absolutely love that little bit of gold that I put through there. I really feel like it just really added to it. What do you guys think? I honestly wish I would have added it to the tumbler that I made as well. But you know, you live and you learn. Oh, I'm covering my mom's face there.
Oh, that's...
It's still beautiful design, and
yes, it is.
I absolutely love how it came out. Super, super pretty. What do you think?
I really like it.
Yeah.
This would be a great addition to somebody's, either in their kitchen or out on their picnic table or
yeah, like
in their camper.
Yeah.
You know, nice. And you can make all different ones out of that. I mean, use your imagination and
oh, I already have ideas for like the holidays and stuff. So
now see,
yeah,
stuff like that.
Absolutely, super cool. Yeah, it just needs some plastic bumpers to kind of grip it to your counter or wherever. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, works fabulous. I still have one more. So maybe in the future we'll have to do another one together with each other. Okay, so the cup swap, since it's just too hot for my mom to craft with me. Maybe next time. I think last time we did ornaments. Yes. And then you made the tumbler with me the one time. I'll tag the other videos she's been in there with me down there for you guys to watch. But this is the mug she got for me. She went to she just got back from Tequamanon Falls there in Michigan.
Isn't that cute?
So
it's a color changing mug.
Yeah, so it has that powder in there that color changes, which I was just telling her that I could actually get the powder and make mugs like this. That's pretty cool. So I don't know if you guys knew that.
That's neat.
There's a special powder that you can get to put in your epoxy to do this kind of look on cups. So that's my mug. So now she gets to pick out something. I have a bunch here and a bunch up there. I've been slowly kind of giving stuff away and all that. So
I really do like this manatee.
You like the manatee one?
I do.
Okay.
That's cute.
So is that one you're going to take?
No.
Oh, no, it's not?
This one. Okay. I want this one.
So no, on the manatee one.
But I might take that one.
Okay, so this one she wants. Okay.
This is super cute, but no. I like this one.
You like that one too?
Yeah, but will that fit in my cup holder?
This?
Yeah. It
should because it's tapered there at the bottom. It should.
Okay.
It should. So.
Yeah, y'all know. You put something in your cup holder and it goes to the floorboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you take a turn.
Is there any other one? Take what you want. Everybody out there is like, I want that one. I'll take that.
This is super cute too. I like that. Okay. And I like this one.
Oh, you like that? I didn't even finish that one. Everybody probably remembers that. I don't know. I didn't finish it up. I never finished it.
All right, then. But this is cute too.
Okay.
You know what?
There's more up here too.
I know. I looked at. There's a couple up there.
Which one?
Well, this one, which is
cute.
Yeah.
Okay. I did that one a while back.
That one's cute. This one right here.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm gonna stick with this one. Two? Yes, because travel.
Oh yeah.
And it looks groovy.
It does look groovy.
You know what I'm saying?
Looks
gives
groovy.
gives you the vibe.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right.
So
I
let her have free reign, and she only picked two. I'm actually kind of shocked right now. I thought you were going to take more.
I'm not going yet, but
you might take more before. I don't know. So these are the two she picked. So there you go. You're going to have those.
Thank you, honey.
Thanks for the cup swap. I got that, and she got those. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for me today. It was nice having my mom on, her coming and celebrating her birthday with us. So it's just a very quick trip weekend, but it was still nice. But I think that's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.